All right, how's everybody doing today? Um, I'm gonna talk about a couple of different things because when it comes down to the rioting and looting, even the marching, I want everybody to understand that that is very unnecessary. We don't have to do all of this marching and demonstrating anymore. We can be really silent about the things that we do, and we can do them in more accurate, deadly, uh, antiquated ways that could actually change policy. I'm gonna tell you how you do this though. Now, people don't understand that we are protected. We are a protected class in the United States. I'm going to explain to you what the protected class is. The protected class of people are people who are minorities to the majority, which the majority of the United States is white men. Although even a white man can be considered a protected class, right? In certain situations, right? So we're all of the protected class, but when it comes down to black people, colored people, Asians, Filipinos, Mexicans, we all are basically a protected people. Now, what I mean by that is the federal government, Martin Luther King did this. Martin Luther King worked really closely with President JFK. They sat down and came up with multitudes of ways for us to not be discriminated against. So what they did is they came up with these laws. If you do this, I can do this, this, and that, and you owe me this much money. I'm going to tell you why it doesn't work in America, or hasn't been working. I wouldn't even say it hasn't been working. I would say more people don't use this because they're shamed out of actually filing a claim. So I'm going to give you my experience with it. All right. I worked at a job and we were taking out trash, and basically, there was a tire, a hubcap, and it was a Cadillac hubcap. Now, the owner, or my boss, he told me, we're gonna keep those Cadillac rims, and I was like, why? Why do we keep the Cadillac rims? We're throwing away all the scrap, He goes, well, a brother might want them. And so I said, a brother? I said, don't nobody want those rims. They're messed up. I mean, they're scratched to hell. Why would somebody even want that? A brother. And so I said, a brother? Like, you mean like your brother wants them? He said, no, a brother like you, a black person. I immediately didn't, I didn't accept what he said to me. I didn't say anything. You keep your composure. You don't go off. I said, okay, just remember what you said to me. I wasn't even intending on filing a claim at that time. Later on at that same job, I had a guy, he just walked up to me, and, because he was mad because I wasn't moving fast enough for his friend's car, because his friend was coming to get his car at the time, which I had already did like 5 cars, which is like phenomenal. And he's like, well, you're not working fast enough. He got in my face. He started yelling and pointing, and he damn near touched me in the nose. Those were the 2 actions that were against me, that they did to me. Okay. I said, all right, I don't understand this situation. So what do? I went to the EEOC. It's a federal nonprofit organization, I believe, that basically files these claims so that you can sue your company. You go to them and you explain everything that happened to you. And I explained that. In my case, I was actually fired that day. Because I stood up to him and I said, hey, you don't talk to me like that. I'm going to tell the boss, like, you're not my boss. You can't talk to me like that. So I went to the boss and told him, and my boss told me, hey, you know what? I'm tired of this shit. I'm tired of you complaining because, you know, this and that. So I'm supposed to accept those things. No, I don't accept that. So he said, you know what? You're fired. Get out of here. You're fired. I said, okay, I get it. So I filed with the EEOC, a civil rights lawsuit. The statute is 1964 civil rights lawsuit. That's basically, it encompasses a lot of things, right? So I went there, and basically they'll tell you, hey, you can get a lawyer. You know, if you have a case, you will know that day. They'll tell you yeah, or they'll tell you nah, that you need more evidence. So I had enough evidence with just those two things that I told them. I was able to sue them for $30,000. At that point, yes, I didn't have a job, but I was $30,000 richer, right? Now, I thought, you know, hey, that's the last time I'll deal with something like that. You know, people are changing in this world. And you know, I want to get out of Missouri because I can see that maybe moving to a different state will be better, you know. I moved to a state. I become a mechanical engineer. I'm a mechanical engineer, right? Now, you know what type of environment engineers work in. You know what type of anal retentive types there are. You know, so a guy walks up to me and he says, hey, how you doing, my nigga? I immediately didn't like that, because that's kind of rude to approach me at work with that word. Now, I initially didn't just jump off and say, I'm suing the shit out of you, pull the race card. I didn't do that. What I did is I stayed at that job for quite a substantial amount of time. Him consistently saying this word. So I decided to ask him, what do you mean by nigga? What does that word mean to you? Do you identify as being a nigga? Do you identify with that? Because if you do, you know, I can accept that. I could accept that. But you don't identify with being a nigga. You identify with being who you are, which is as much white as you could possibly want to be, right? So once we came to that conclusion that, you know, what he told me is that niggas live in the hood. Niggas have nappy hair. Niggas go and get their nails done, all professionally done. You know, they're loudmouth ass niggas. This is what he told me. So I said, so you don't identify with being a nigga? I said, I would advise you, and I find it offensive for you to even use that word in my presence, because I myself may or may not use that word, but when I do, it's not at work. I'm a mechanical engineer. Why would I use a word of such destruction, rudeness, racism, right? So he, you know, he got mad and he puffed all up, and it was really hard for me not to beat his ass. It was so fucking hard because I just wanted to throw his bitch ass through the window. But you know what? I held all my anger in, and I went to do the first thing you should do. Now, notice what I say. The first thing you should do in some cases, if you want to keep your job and you want this to go under the radar without really, you know, causing a ruckus and then you get fired, by the time they really figure it out, they already paid you and you still working there. So now if they fuck up, they can get fucked up. They'll get a retaliation lawsuit too on top of your actual lawsuit for what they did. Now, you know, so when it comes to that, the process of actually filing, you know, when you go to your HR department and tell them, hey, I had an altercation with John. He called me a nigga. We need to take an action on this. That way you actually inform them that there was an issue and you tried to resolve it. Now, what I was told by my manager was that, hey, I'm a country boy too. And I said, what the fuck that mean? What the fuck? So you said nigga too? Like You don't say nigga, you say nigger. But how am I supposed to be okay with that still? Like, what the fuck are you saying? So I left his office and I went to the HR. HR told me, hey, I'm a country boy too. I've grown up in the country. I say nigga sometimes. No. Okay. That's a racist thing. We are engineers. We're not, let's say, day workers where you come in for a day and you come off the street and you bring your shit in and you work for one day and you get paid that day. This is supposed to be a classy, smart, intellectual job. So, with that being said, I basically said my due diligence. They told me then that, everything is okay. We're going to have a diversity training. Also, mind you, I was only a temp there. I wasn't actually hired with the company. So don't be afraid if you're working for a temp service and you get racially discriminated by the company that actually isn't employing you at the time through the temp service. Don't worry about that. If they do that, they're still liable, right? So, I'm like, okay, well, how's this going to go? We're going to have diversity training on Monday. Let's do it. I'm ready for diversity training. I got my notebook. I'm ready to do this. And what happens is they fire me. Oh, we don't need you anymore. We've slowed down so much that we don't need you anymore. Yeah, it put a nice little smother on my life and made it to where I couldn't pay certain bills and all this other stuff. Yeah, it did do that to me. But I can get a job easy. Get jobs easy. There's engineering jobs like popcorn around here. If you want one, you can get one. If you know how to engineer, they need you, right? So I was like, yeah, fuck it. We're going to do this diversity training. They fucking fired me. I'm filing this lawsuit. I got to. Have no other choice. This is crazy. So, when I actually filed the lawsuit and everything and all that, they initially didn't want to comprehend, like they didn't know what was going on. But the lawyers understand when it comes down to civil rights, there's no wiggle room. You don't have any wiggle room. You've lost. At that point, if your company is sued for civil rights infractions, you don't have any more wiggle room. You might as well just go ahead and pay the money, because you could get another complication and have even more of a lawsuit put on you. You know what I'm saying? So, working for this company, I sued them. I didn't take it all the way through court. I didn't even feel like playing with it. I didn't take any of them all the way through court. Like I said, the first one I got $30,000 richer. This one I got $50,000 richer. Now, if I would have took it to court, if let's say this, if they say, yeah, we give you $1, we say, yes, he deserves compensation. He deserves $1. If you said, I want $20 million, you get $20 million. You have to understand what your civil rights are. Mind you, don't tear up nothing. If something happens to me, please don't tear up anything, because I'm going to make sure that my civil rights beats the shit out of somebody. My civil rights are tough. Your civil rights are tough. Let's just say in the case of any of these situations that we have in America, the first thing black people do that fucks up everything, let's be cool with them. Let's hug and let's all embrace each other. No, first off, I will embrace you after you say that you did what you did and you paid me my money. I'll give you a nice hug after that. You made me $20,000, $30,000 richer. Thank you. Thank you. But what I'm not going to do is prematurely tell them that everything is okay, because it's not. I would say this: in any situation that look up law, any situation that when it comes down to, let's say, a white person gets hurt by some black thugs, right? Do they let up? Do they say we forgive them? Do they do that? We need to quit being so stupid. We need to quit being so pliable, like toilet paper. They just wipe their ass with us. You know, we have to be a little bit more, have a little bit more structure, be more conforming to understanding what the fuck our civil rights can really do for us, because we can take down corporations. If it really came down to it, let's say, and I know this has already happened, but I'm sure everybody's afraid of this. But let's say you work for Walmart. That happened. It was heard by everybody every employee heard this racial slur being slathered on whoever. Everybody in that room has the right to file a civil rights lawsuit, because basically Dr. King and the people who wrote up the civil rights law said that we should not have to deal with none of that shit no more. And the fact that we don't use it is our number one fall. That's the reason. We out here wondering how to get this. Let me explain something to you. The only reason that black people are citizens of the United States of America and not property anymore is because of the 13th Amendment. If you take the 13th Amendment away, they have the legal right to put chains back on us. Do you know that? Do you know that they're fucking with the 13th Amendment? They're trying to make it to where basically we go back in them damn chains. Do you know that? Not using your civil rights is like not using a trash can when it's right next to you. You know that, right? So what you're doing is you're letting the trash build up in your pocket, in your face, in your soul, and in your life. And then you send your children out and tell them to do the same as daddy did and listen to what they say. Do not be apprehensive. And if they say racial shit, hold your head down and just deal with it. Fuck no. That is not what Martin Luther King would have done. And Martin Luther King is known for being the most peaceful person in the world. Every time they want to bring up something about how black people should act, they bring up, think about Martin Luther King. Yeah, if you think about Martin Luther King, look at the last couple of days, the last couple of things that Martin Luther King said. He felt that he integrated his people into a burning house. And reason being is because Martin Luther King was about economics for black people. What that means is that black people had businesses back then when Martin Luther King started all the stuff that he did. So what I'm saying is, basically, we fucked up and we're fucking up and we're not using all of the things that are there for us to fucking use. We're looking like dumbasses over here. White people are looking at us like, it's that easy? Like we can just do this? It's that easy? Like they're not gonna fight back? Fighting back is not burning down shit. Fighting back has nothing to do with fucking looting and stealing and fucking all this shit. That's stupid. Your pen is more powerful than any fucking sword on this fucking earth. And if you don't understand that, you are dumb. A pen is more powerful than any weapon on this earth. Exactly. So what you do for your civil rights, I'm going to tell you what we should be doing instead of all this stupid ass protesting shit. Honestly, what we should be doing is signing a petition that says if the police do this, that we should be able to hold them accountable and there should be sanctions against that police department in many different fucking aspects and in many fucking different ways. Then we need a community oversight committee for every one of these motherfuckers. Because one, we have nobody to speak up for us. And two, we don't need no motherfucker to speak up for us. Because if they do, they're going to kill him. They're going to kill him and then they're going to scare everybody that's under him. Because everybody under him will be like, oh, I don't want to die. Shit, no. Fuck that shit. Like, no. I say, look at it like this. Be army ants. Everybody does their part to fight social injustice. Everybody does their fucking part. What we should be doing is filing a fucking petition to destroy the motherfuckers who did this shit. The reason that the people in Georgia even went to jail is because of a fucking petition. Nobody had to walk around and tear up nothing and scream and yell and walk around with signs and, oh my, woo, woo, woo. Don't nobody give a fuck about that. Don't nobody care. That's fun to them. It's fun to shoot your kids up with fucking pepper balls and shit. Can't you see this? You see it in the news. But what's not fun to they motherfucking asses when you start fucking with their money. And blackout, we can do that. Blackout. That means spend no money with them. Don't just do it for a fucking day. What is that? Let's do it forever in America. Let's do it forever. Anytime you can spend with a black person over spending with a corporation or a black or a white person, do it. And I'm not saying all white people. I'm just saying white people that don't like your ass, like Starbucks. As a matter of fact, when I was an engineer at the last company that I was working at, I had finished the whole Starbucks, this nice little Starbucks shelves and all of this shit in there. But I was fired that same fucking day that the two people who were in Starbucks, they arrested the two black men. That next day, I was fucking fired. That's at that point, that's when I said, hey, you know what? I'm taking this suit all the way there. Fuck Starbucks, fuck the company I was working for and everything. But what I want to tell people is any fucking time, I don't care how many of you guys message me, if you want to understand how to protect yourself and your civil rights, and you feel that you have had your civil rights violated, in which I believe every motherfucker on this fucking live has. If you've had your civil rights violated, I can tell you how to walk through that shit. I can tell you how to come out the fire and have fucking cash. Fuck them bitches. The one thing America is scared of is black people using our civil rights. Fuck them. Quit feeling like you are pulling the race card. Because they gonna pull the motherfucking race card off of your ass and take your skin with it, because they don't give a fuck about you. They just want you to be malleable and pliable so that you do as told. You can't be that foolish to be that fucking foolish. Your civil rights can be enacted at any motherfucking moment. If you're on the bus and somebody says something to you, racist, and you record it, at that point, there's no reason to beat their ass. There's no reason to post it on. You can post it on Facebook and just let people know, but there's no real reason to do anything else besides take that shit to the motherfucking federal court building, pay $400, and file a fucking lawsuit against them. You know, it's a little harder to sue a person, but it's super easy to sue your jobs and companies. Super easy. Almost don't even need fucking evidence. You don't even fucking need evidence. That's the thing. But I'm telling you not to abuse this thing. And that's the reason why people are shy people away from it, because they don't want people to abuse it. I don't want people to abuse it. I don't want people to take what I'm saying wrong either. You need to know, first off, that you have been violated. Two, that your company can handle paying you that money. And even if they can't, they're going to figure it the fuck out, because they're going to have to pay it anyway, right? But that, you know, you want to make sure it's truthful. You don't want to go in there and be like, oh, they was being mean to me and they said, go to work now. Like, that's not racist. Now, it would be bullying, and that's still something under your civil rights that you can sue for. Any color. It doesn't matter what color you are. You can still sue for that shit. You can still make money off of their ass. Make they ass the motherfucking jackpot. That's what Americans need to do. Make this bitch a motherfucking jackpot. We could take the whole country back. But we're too scared to miss one fucking day at work. We didn't miss a whole month of work now. But you still holding your head down? Yes, sir. Eyes getting that real fast? No. Respect me and I will respect you, sir. Please, I'm a human being. Don't call me that. Thank you. That's all you need to say. That's all you need to do. You don't need to get mad and, oh yeah, I got your ass now. Just, it's done. It's done. I mean, let them go ahead and put the cherry on top. Let them continue. Don't scare them too much, because they'll run when they know you get ready to take their pockets. They'll try to fire you when they know that you try and get in their pockets. You know, I have a lawsuit right now pending for the same type of shit. You know, a person, my boss called another black man a monkey. And I said, why would you call him a fucking monkey? And I said it just like that. And he said, well, you know, I call everybody monkeys. Really? Do you? I said, that's the wrong thing to say. I said, because black people have been being called monkey as a racial slur too long in America for you not to know that you just said something racist. After I said that to him and I walked out of there, we had a paper printer. And our paper printer is called the Brother. It's a Brother paper printer. And it's black. So when I came out of there, he said, oh yeah, you know, get the I think the black paper printer isn't working. And they laugh. I think the black brother isn't working. I walked back into his fucking office. And I said, man, hey, I'm not playing with your bitch ass. I'm gonna let you know right now. Stop the bullshit. Because I know what you're doing. You know, more from that job. You know, I had one guy, he just wanted to call me, hey, broham, brother. I said, no, bro, my name is Rico. That's my fucking name. My name is Rico. My mother gave me that name, and that's the name I go by. Would you please not call me outside of my name? Because I know you don't like me. You're not my fucking brother. You know, and I didn't say that to him. I was real nice. I was really nice. I was actually really nice. I was totally into my engineering voice. But the part that I didn't like was the fact that I'm standing right there and he's talking to my boss and telling my boss to ask me questions on things that he wonders about. And I said, I am right here. You can talk directly to me. He looks me in the face and turns back to my boss and said, well, why would he do that? You're asking a question that I can answer, and I'm right here. I said, you can talk to me. And so he got upset and he called me, you know, he just started saying things that's just smart aleck. You know, my mind was going so much, I was so much anger built up. So I was just like, that shit was bouncing away. Like, I don't know, I can't even recall what he said. I can tell you what I said to him though. I told him, I'm in this room and you can talk directly to me, loudmouth ass motherfucker. Because he was yelling at the top of his voice, right? So I said, you know, fuck you. All you do is start shit here. He tells me, honestly, I couldn't even hear him. So he says some old stupid ass shit. Anyway, the main boss comes in and the main boss says, hey, what are y'all arguing about? I said, well, I'm standing right here. I have a lot of altercations with this guy, you know, calling me outside of my name, also calling me, talking to my boss or talking to someone while I'm standing in the room when he could just ask me that question. I can quickly tell him it's not something I did wrong anyway. It's something that he doesn't understand, and that's not my problem. We're in corporate America. It's not my problem that you're stupid. I can't help you. You know, so what he says is, oh no, Rico, you're starting shit. And I mean, in a way to where it seemed like he almost wanted to hit me or something, like, you know, because we're both standing in the doorway. We can barely fit. He starts yelling at me. Hey, you know, Rico, you're starting this shit. I said, I'm going to tell you what, man. I'll get the fuck out of here. I'm going home. Fuck that. I'm going home. I'm tired of this shit. I'm tired of people talking to me crazy. I'm tired of that. You know, what he said was, oh, fuck you, blah, blah, blah. He gets all really irate. I said, you know what, man? Let me get my shit so I can go. This man tries to rush me. He tries to fight me. Everybody came out of their office and was watching this. And I'm like, oh, really? So you're going to fight me? You're going to literally try to fight me? I'm thinking like, man, I will beat your old ass in here. I've been wanting to beat somebody's ass, and I probably would beat your ass to death. So he comes up. All of this shit washes over. Anyway, the part 2 to all of that bullshit, I am my own lawyer right now, which might not be, for most people, that probably is not a good idea, right? But I've been doing this for a long time, and I kind of feel like I can wing it. You know, because when you get a lawyer, you're paying 40% of your money. Now, if you do it yourself, you're getting 100% of your money. And in most cases, these things have nothing to do with nothing more than filing a paper that takes a little bit of ink with your pen. The pen is more powerful than the sword. Quit being played out here. I might even write up the petition myself and have the petition so that we can send it to our governors, mayors, people in Congress, president, everybody, so they can all be aware of what's getting ready to happen to whoever or whatever type of situation we're going to do. So I want everybody to understand that. If you need help with your civil rights, understand it. If you have been violated or whatever, just hit me up on, I can tell you just about everything that they're going to tell you at the EEOC. I'm going to tell you if your case could actually even stand water. Now, the 2 things I told you, you might say, oh, that was just, I've went through worse. I've had worse shit. You're stupid. If it's happened to you and you've been through worse shit, you're stupid. Because you're still dealing with it, and you're dumb for dealing with it. You are the reason why it happens. Because you're accepting of what bullshit you shouldn't be accepting of. Honestly, you're the problem. And mind you, at the second to last place I worked at, there was one black person. He wouldn't even stick up. He loved, from what he told me, I love my pool, man. I love my house, you know. I don't say nothing. But every time we go smoke a cigarette, he's saying, I can't stand this motherfucker walking around saying nigga. Shut the fuck up. You might as well put the noose on yourself and do it to yourself, because you are the reason that they even do it. And that's the truth. Quit falling for the bullshit.